sometimes I really have to let go of the importance of who I think I am and I have to let go of the importance of who I think I am, because I am in itself is empty for creation. So the Ea Asher Ea, the I am that I am, is really I am as great as the energy of God that pours through me at any given time. And if there is a great energy of God moving through the I am that is expressing itself as Sandra Embleton, if there's a great amount of God energy coursing through me at any time, then that has to do with the great amount of energy that God decides to flow, that He'll allow to flow through me. And sometimes there's a little bit of God energy in every one of us, and sometimes there's a great amount of God energy going through us. I guess the question is, at any given time, how much of us is expressing as personality, or how much of us is expressing as God? Today I allowed God to work through me to make a video to send to Oprah as a sign from God. Now, it will only contain enough of the God energy frequency in that video as enough to alert Oprah to the message, so she can open up and go, hey, wait a minute, maybe this is energy from God, because there was a lot of energy in that video. I mean, there was. I even felt it. I watched it twice after I made it. And I'm sitting there in front of my own video going, wow. Because it's like I'm seeing it for the first time as somebody observing it, not as the person that, the energy that made it. The person that allowed God to enter in and make that first video to talk to God, that was the energy of God that was speaking. So then the observer in me, the Sandra in me, got to observe God working through her when I viewed that video. So I was watching God enter in and speak through me. And it was beautiful because in that video, that first video that I made for Oprah, what I was really doing was inviting her to awaken. I was inviting her to awaken because through me, God would be awakening her, because I'm Oprah's mirror. For that time when she was Moses, I was his wife. So I am Oprah's twin flame reflection at the time when she walked the earth as Moses. And what makes that so important is that, you see, it's like any great being who walks the earth. You can walk along knowing and thinking, oh, I have a feeling of a big purpose. I have a feeling God's working through me. But at the moment when your mirror, the correct God mirror, comes along and sees you for who you are, it's like, oh, I can't hide anymore. I can't hide anymore. I need to be this great person. And so God would send me, Sandra, to send a video to Oprah, because when Oprah hears it or sees it, she'll know, oh my God, that's my wife. That's my twin flame. That's the other half of me seeing me for who I am. Who else is going to acknowledge that Oprah's Moses? Else is going to go out and say something like that? They wouldn't have the knowing of it, first of all, and God wouldn't have placed it in them. And second of all, it's like, who would love her enough to say, hey, it's okay, oh, calm down, this is going to happen for you. And as your wife, if I was speaking to Oprah as Moses' wife, I would say, hey, calm down, Moses, this is, my heart's just beating right now. It's like, calm down, this is just happening. This is just going to happen. And God's really saying, I plan on using you, Moses, Oprah, in a big way again. So I'm letting you know. I'm giving you a forewarning that I'm going to use you in a big way. And as excited as Oprah may be about that, or as excited as the people listening and hearing this might be about that, because that's exciting news, because it's a forewarning of God saying, you know, Oprah, I'm going to use you in a big way to change America. And it's not a question of whether it'll be allowed to happen on the physical plane. It's not a question of whether she'll be elected or not. Like I said in the video, it's already happened. It's already happened. So the question or the observation now comes, wow, how much movement can there be by God through her? How much movement, how much can God work through one individual to move his people? How much? How much can God move a nation? Because if God moved the entire people of Israel out of slavery and into a new way of being, into a new way of thinking, God's going to move us into a new way of thinking, whether we like it or not. He's just going to do that. He's just going to open us up. He's just going to make us more aware of who we are and who he is. He's going to make us more aware of who he is. And so, isn't it wonderful that God's brought Moses back to us? Because of all the people on the planet, he seemed to be the one that was able to hold the energy of the frequency and allow God to speak through him, to give everyone instructions of where we're going. So we know we're led by God. Because everyone's at a time right now where they don't know who to believe or who to take instructions from. Who do we listen to? Who do we listen to? Because a lot of us have lost contact with God in the churches and the religions because of the way that it's offered to us. We need it offered up to us in a new way again. That's why this whole exercise is coming about, is new age, new directions, new age, new guidance. How can we go forth in confidence in God? Well, when you have the awareness that God moves through his people, and he moved through Moses before, he knows that's anchored in you, so that if Moses comes again, then we'll all recognize that it was Moses, God working through this man. Now we're going to recognize God working through this woman. Isn't that great? That we're going to see both sides of God moving his people in a new direction through a different being, through a different way of receiving the message. And that's how small-minded we are, actually, is we actually think that the message matters more if it comes from a male than it does a woman. And that is a lie and a misconception that's been propagated for so long by so many people that it's embedded in us and we actually believe it. Oh, there no message can come through a woman, it's got to come through a man. And if you can go back far enough in the Bible into our original roots at the creation, the process that God would like implanted is Eve goes to God for the knowledge, which is she goes to the tree and eats the knowledge, takes the knowledge, and then leaves and gives it to man. That's the law and the order of it by nature for the woman to go to God. So let's not negate that process. And let's let woman go to God, receive the message, and come back and deliver it to man. Because I think if we follow that natural order and we accept that as a truth, a universal truth, is that the way of it? And don't make it a bad thing, but make it the right thing and the right way of the right way of doing and being. If that's the process of it and that's how we find our power, then let's move into that acceptance that that is the right way to receive knowledge. And let it come through the woman to man, because we need to return to that original order. And fundamentalists who believe that as it was in the beginning, it always shall be. Well, that's how it was in the beginning, as God wanted the woman to come to him first and receive the knowledge. So now it's the woman's job to step up and be accountable to God for the behavior that's gone on, because women are the ones that need to step up and say, no, we receive the knowledge. We get the knowledge. We have the intuition. We have the connection with God. Listen to what it is God is saying through us, through women. And if the men won't believe it, then let's let the other women see it in one another and believe it enough in us as the ones that get the knowledge. We've just been taught to really hold our heads down and wait till men get it, and they're not doing a good job there when the world's in the way it is. So see it, and now step up and go, hey, I'm a woman, and I get the knowledge from God. I'm going to start speaking it. I'm going to start saying it. I'm going to start verbalizing it. And then God will work through you so people can hear you. Don't worry. He'll work through you so people can hear what you're saying as a woman. Other women will hear you, and they'll step up and validate you and go, hey, that's the truth. My intuition, my knowing is telling me, hey, she's speaking the truth. And the man in the room beside you, or the people in the room beside you, hopefully they'll hear you. Those who are ready to hear you will. But you hear it, hearing this now, that the knowledge is to come through the woman. And the woman, and as a woman hearing this, then go, you know what I have to say matters. What I'm feeling matters. What I know in my knowing matters. And I'm going to speak the truth of it. First I can speak it to other women and validate it, and then I can speak it to men, my husband, my family, whatever, wherever your comfort level is, whatever awareness you start to receive, speak the truth of it. I think the world needs love. I think the world needs compassion. I think the world needs to be reminded that God loves them and He's there for us. And whether we're in the desert, whether we're in Egypt, whether we're in America, whether we're in trouble, whether our country's in trouble or not, whatever kind of bondage or slavery we've been in and where we feel hopeless and God's not watching and He doesn't care, it's like, yeah, He does. He does. He does care. He does love us. God does care and He does love us. And He's sending His best people. But like John and Yoko were trying to tell us when they were doing their sleep in the bed, right? And bringing everybody in and singing Give Peace a Chance. Oh, they were trying to tell us so much. It's like, don't look at me and see me and judge me and think that that's all there is to me, or that I can't be God because I look like this. Listen to what we're saying, is what John and Yoko were trying to wake us up to, was listen to the message, don't judge the messenger. And we're trying to tell you to be peaceful. Stop fighting. Stop fighting with anyone any country, any person. Stop fighting and become peaceful. Just sit and be peaceful. Wow, because when you sit in peace, you receive the shalom at shalom, which means the peace that passeth all understanding. And when you're peaceful, you can hear God. And that's the only way you will. It's when He comes. Be peaceful. Start to breathe. Whether it's in prayer or meditation, but quiet your mind. Quiet your mind. And breathe it in. Breathe them in. Breathe God in. Oh, we all can do this. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, can you stop for a moment? Can you stop? Even watching this video, just stop. Stop with the busyness of everything. Stop with your day. Stop with what you think is going on. Stop with what you've read. Stop with what you've been brainwashed into thinking is truth. And what if you realized, oh my God, what if there's a deeper truth and I've been lied to and I need to wake up and hear this new truth now? Please help me look past my ingrained patterning and what's been handed down to me from my parents and those before them and from a church. Help me to let go of all the things I think are right or wrong or that's good or bad for me to do and just listen to what God may be telling you. And in order to hear this, you not only do you get peaceful, but in order to hear this, surrender and begin to praise God. Praise God. Praise you, God. Amen. Praise you, God. Amen. Praise you, God. Amen. 10 times. And ask Him to bring His grace upon you. And then sit and listen for Him. Sit and feel Him. Sit and wait to feel Him come into you. Enter in, O Lord. Enter in, O Lord. Enter in, O Lord. And ask Him to come in. And that spirit kingdom, that energy that's sent from the spirit kingdom to you, you're going to feel it. It comes to you. It's like, whoa, there's energy here now that wasn't there before. And just feel that. Feel Him bring His presence in. Oh, my God, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like feeling the presence of God. Because it calms, it relaxes, it brings clarity, it brings purpose, it brings answers, knowings. It brings the energy of the Son of God to you, to empower you. To speak your truth. Speak your truth. And it's many of us go, oh no, I don't know my truth yet. I got to go and find my truth. I have to find my truth before I can speak my truth. I don't know my truth. Start with where you are right now and just start with the truth of the moment is, this is what's happening and I'm in this moment and I'm going to accept it. And be in the truth of how you're feeling in that moment. Be in the truth of how you're thinking in that moment. And just say how you're feeling. If you're sad, if you're lonely, if you're angry, if you're mad, if you're happy, if you're frustrated, if you're lost, whatever it is, just speak it and say, that's how I feel. And that is the first step you take to speaking your truth. It's just how you feel in the moment, you're feeling for right now. And when you're honest about how you're feeling in this moment, and if you can speak your truth of how you're feeling and where you're going and what is going on for you in this moment, if you have the courage to do that, just this is what's happening for me right now. I had a dream last night, or I thought of this, or I had a premonition. And don't worry about people judging you and going, oh, you're crazy, you're weird. You're thinking, you know what? You're awakening. You had a dream, you had a thought, something happened that wasn't out of the ordinary. Oh, wow, maybe you're awakening. Maybe this is a sign you're waking up. And now look to each other to see who's waking up. Who's waking up first? Who is waking up? And then recognize in each other the signs of when you're beginning to awaken. And here's the great thing, the crazy thing, and this is what I wrote. It's like the people that followed Moses will wake up first. Bottom line, end of discussion. Those people and those souls who were slaves in Egypt at the time when they left Egypt and were led by Moses and went into the desert, those are the souls that will awaken first and know who Oprah really is. They'll know it, they'll feel it. So look to each other and see who's waking up. Who's waking up first? Look to each other to see who's waking up first. And that's how you know you were present at the time of Moses. You'll remember. You'll know who I am. You'll know who Oprah is. You'll know who your leaders are. And you'll be able to trust in them. And the same thing at the time of Christ. You'll know who Jesus was, and you'll know who Mary, his wife, was, and you'll know who they are. You'll recognize them. And the people that were there that walked the earth at the time of Christ are going to recognize their leaders, and they're going to trust in them. And that's how you'll know. When you get in touch with how you feel, and you get in touch with your knowing, and let that be your guide. Something about this doesn't feel right. Trust that knowing. Trust that feeling. My higher's, everyone wants to do this, but you know what? I think I need to do this. Trust that knowing. And you can start, but most people start off their sentences. You're going to think I'm crazy, but when you start starting your sentences with, I think this is going to sound crazy, you're waking up. Because you're so afraid to be judged by others who are asleep. But you're trying to put your feelers out there to say, stuff's happening to me and I'm waking up, okay? I'm starting to see more of my awareness I'm aware that this isn't a good idea. I'm aware now that they're making mistakes over here, and I'm aware about this, and I need to meet other people that are waking up because I'm feeling like, is this place messed up or what? I need to have a validation. We need to send in the big guns. And that's what God's doing, because He's not going to leave us. He's never going to let us down. So you're going to start to see more and more people awakening to the fact that in history they were great souls, and they're here to help us again. So we're going to see great analysts like Freud and Jung. We're going to see them walk the earth again. We're going to see people like Nostradamus, and we're going to see Isaac Newton. We're going to see all these great minds, Einstein, and people in history, conquerors and leaders. We're going to see them surface again, but they're going to look different, like we have drawings and paintings of them, but their soul's going to be here, and you'll know them because of what they're trying to do, what the good they're trying to do, and the inventions, the ideas, and the innovations that are coming forward that are going to lead us in a new direction. That's what we want to be awake to. That's what we want to know. I'm also hearing, I'm just studying right now some work by Doctors J.J. Hertex and Desiree. I'm studying their work, and I'm learning a lot. So there's new direction for us. There's new information for us to begin to discover and to find. Isn't that great? We're starting in a new age. We're starting in a new time of learning. There's new information. There's new things being revealed. And we can say yes. We can say, oh, okay, is that true? Oh, okay. And listen for the new information that's being revealed. If people are going to come up to you and tell you to be afraid of that, of be afraid of anything new, of any new word of God, oh, you can't trust these new people, and everyone's off in a new direction and are unconnected, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be hard to discern who to listen to and who not to listen to for some people, because they're easily led. But other people are going to be able to discern immediately who to listen to and who not to. They're going to discern immediately a vibrational frequency that is of God speaking. They're going to be able to receive that. And God will bring you up to that vibration so you'll hear him. The people that aren't meant to hear God won't hear this. The people that are meant to not hear God are going to be in a low vibration, and they're going to be walking around going, huh, what's going on? Oh, they're a liar, or they're this, or they're crazy, or oh, that stupid thing. They'll put it down because they don't get it. They don't understand it. They can't hear it. They can't hear it. Really, they can't hear the call from God. They can't. It's like they're numb to it. It's like mufflers. They won't hear it. But that's how to tell who's waking up and who's not. Either you hear it or you don't. If you don't hear it, you don't hear it. And those people who hear it, don't waste your time on people that can't hear it, because that's not your job. You're not here to wake them up. God will wake them up if he wants to call them, not you. Let go of that if you think you have power over that. God will wake them up, not you. God will. So stop wasting your energy on them. Focus on your relationship with God. Focus on your frequency. Focus on your vibration and lifting it, and your journey coming to know God. When you can get to the point with your relationship with God that you can speak with him and hear him, you can be confident that he will send you out to share it. So ask, am I to be sharing right now, or am I still to be growing? Still to be meditating, still to be peaceful, still to be learning. God will awaken you. Nobody can teach you or tell you anything. But watching stuff or watching videos that are uplifting and are helping you come into your own power, so you'll be able to discern what's right for you, to be discerned if you're being called or not. It's good to just learn what you can and be drawn to the things that you need to hear. So if you're listening to this, you were drawn to hear it because perhaps you're ready to hear this and you can understand and you can know what's being shared. I think we want to switch into a full conscious knowing that we're okay, that we're safe, that we're safe, that we're safe. And all this fear that's being propagated and told to us and shown to us, and all this hate and anger and unrest that's caused us to become hopeless and disillusioned and sad and feeling alone. Don't believe it. Because we're not alone. We're never alone. God's never abandoned us. He's here with us now. And you need to know that he's got us. You're safe. If he's called you and you have a relationship with him, you're safe. You're safe in his arms. So when you get to that point where you can feel that you are safe and nothing can happen to you or hurt you or harm you because God's protecting you, that you're here to do what you've got to do, and just relax, enjoy it, have fun, because it's going to happen. Don't have to worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. You don't have to worry about a thing. Yeah, how great is that? Great message, Stevie. Thanks a lot. You don't have to worry about a thing. You just have to be like little children entering into the kingdom. Just be happy and be in wonderment. See what every day will bring and who you're going to meet and what you're going to do and what's going to happen. Every day's new. Every day's a new thing. So if every day is a new thing and every day is happy, all this fear and all this fear-mongering and threatening and everything that we seem to be living under is the illusion. It's the illusion. So now we can just be free in our thoughts to enjoy whatever God's got in store for us. I wonder what He's in store for me now. I've had such a great ride. Such a great ride with God. And really, it's about me sharing that ride and telling people what a great ride it's been. Because I've been able to be close and be with God for so many years, and I've had so many wonderful things happen with Him, and just to give testimony to that and how great God has been. I did. I got to meet His Son. I've had such privilege being a servant of God that I would urge everyone to do it, because the benefits and the rewards are astronomical, fabulous. I've had so many miracles happen. It's just wonderful, and I'm so grateful and thankful for it, and leaves you wanting more. Leaves you wanting more of them. And I expect to witness the greatest miracle of all. So I have high expectation of God, and He never disappoints me, because He wouldn't put a thought in my head unless it was meant to be there, unless there was a chance it could move into creation. How wonderful is that? How wonderful is that? So we listen for the thoughts of God. And we allow them to come through without thinking they're ours, without laying claim or responsibility for it. Just allow it to come through and speak through us, and trust it will go to where it needs to go. Trust your artwork or your article or your writing or your creation will get its way out there, because it will. And just honor God by letting Him speak through you. And what an honor is that? It's a wonderful honor.